Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, we back at it today. Draft prospects, rankings, series. Today, we are doing
interior defensive linemen.
Thank you.
D tackles.
D tackles. There you go. All right. How you doing tonight, Max?
Doing good, brother.
All right. So look, this is an interesting class. It really is. I watched this class after watching the offensive linemen, and I like the fact that I did that because I can see who these guys were going up against.
Yeah.
Being like, okay, like, you know, this is a first round pick. This is a
I usually like
guy
to watch corners and then linemen just so I can, get a no. I agree.
But what are your thoughts as a whole with this class if you had to explain it to someone?
A lot of good. One great, a lot of good. That's it. I mean, I think they're guys that are it's like specialists in a sense. Like,
It's the size of the undersize. It's the class of the undersize.
it's the under. What'd you say?
The size of the undersize.
Hell yeah.
The size of the undersize.
It ain't about the fight. It's about the dog. It's not about the size of the dog.
These guys are lacking. They're lacking some size, man. But
yeah, no, I agree.
ballers.
Again, what I was trying to say is just like Kenneth Grant, Alfred Collins. There's certain guys you maybe want to do something in the NFL. I have a hard time thinking a lot of these guys can play all three downs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's definitely question marks. Some guys you feel more confident than others. All right, but look, we appreciate you guys clicking on this video. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a bunch.
MJC Sports. I want to see when I type in MJC Sports just to be us, not those posers. We got more subs. They be coming up first sometimes. I'm like, bro, I'm about to go into YouTube office and just raise hell.
And
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And it helps out by people liking the video, commenting on the video.
You don't even have to like Juan, bro. You can just like me.
Or you cannot like Max.
Cat. Why would they not?
I mean, he has an ice cream shirt on. Like, who can like a guy with an ice cream shirt?
Look at the hat. Look at the hat.
What is Sweet Rose?
I'm on ice cream. Ice cream paint job. Cream on the inside.
I got the real cream on. All right. Originators. Originators.
Yeah.
Nah, if you know, you know.
Hey,
all right.
hey.
If you know, you know. All right. That's all I gotta say. Max acting delusional. He acting childish right now.
Cap.
But it's all right.
Cap. All right. So, guys, we're doing the D tackles. You know how we start. We start off with the list. One list will be better. One list will be questionable.
All right, let's see your punk
decide.
ass list. All right, let's get it out there.
You're gonna hate it.
Say your list.
Number 1, Mason Graham. 2, Derrick Harmon. 3, Juan's gonna hate this one. Walter Nolen. 4, Darius Alexander. 5, Kenneth Grant.
All right, a little bit different.
I got to Juan. There's just something about a old D tackle.
Yeah, you love that shit, huh? You didn't learn the first time, huh?
No.
All right, look, I got Mason Graham 1. We're lined up with that one. I got Alfred Collins as my number 2, Derrick Harmon 3, Tyliek Williams 4, and Darius Alexander at my 5. So a little bit of similarity. We got 3 guys that are on our list as the same thing. Let's start with Mason Graham.
Was it even close between him and number 2? I don't think so. I think this guy is in a tier of his own. This is. Oh, I don't think we did that for the old lineman video. Now that I just do the tier thing.
I mean,
because we talked about the tackles and stuff. So, yeah, no. To me, it's Mason Graham head and shoulders above the rest. This guy is disruptive. He kind of reminded me, this is my player comp, of Braden Fisk because he's kind of that short, stocky guy. I think he's a sub 300, right? He's like 285 and stuff.
296.
Yeah, 296. Again, if the arm length's wrong, we did this before. It's on me. Sorry. But he is twitchy. For a D tackle to be running stunts off like tackles and stuff, it's crazy. Great hands. Flexibility is real for a DT. Great swim move. He'll punish the O-line. He loves to just back them into the quarterback. Now, the thing about him is, and I would say this, and I'm not trying to be an Eagles homer. When you watch Jalen Carter in Georgia, there was almost no weaknesses. It was, if you need to play him in nose tackle, you can kind of get away with it. This guy is your 3 technique. He is put him over a guard, let him be disruptive. He's going to get pushed around in the run game. Kind of like Braden Fisk. He doesn't have ideal length. He had some things like he kind of had the perfect partner in crime. Kenneth Grant, right? He was the perfect guy. And that's what kind of like that's the only nitpick thing you could say with him is right. Like
Yeah, it's
he
the
doesn't get
size.
moved. Yeah, he's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
But man, he's strong. He is effing strong.
Look, to me, the best phrase to explain Mason Graham, he's an ass whooper. Okay, he plays bigger than his size. He seems a little thin. He's a stumpy guy. Short arms, like
burly
you said.
as
Burly.
hell.
He is burly.
Burly boys.
If you know, you know with 2K. But he got that burly build. All right. But look, great quickness. He's great. He has a great feel for the game. He can read and react so fucking well. And he adds a lot of value because he has third down value to him. He can play on third down. He's a pass rusher.
If you're going to play a team like the Baltimore Ravens, that's going to be a tough week for him specifically.
And I put this in my notes, and it's kind of the same thing where it's kind of similar to the lineman, how I was saying how the versatility, people look at Will Campbell and see it as a negative, with the size and the arm length. For me, I look at it as a positive with a lot of these D tackles, as far as when you first look at them on tape and you see the measurables, little guy, little arms. That's a positive to me, because what do you say about your guards? What do you like, Max? I don't like guards like that, but what do you like in your guards?
I like
big motherfuckers.
Like I wrote in my notes about him, big old some bitch.
Yes, big old some bitches. And what I like in D tackles, they can beat those big some bitches because they can't fucking move. And Mason Graham is going to be hell, because what I hear from linemen, the ones that they fucking hate, it's guys like Mason Graham. It's a reason why
honestly,
Aaron Donald.
Honestly, I think the size is fine. It's kind of like that pain in the ass because he's always out leveraging you. It's like a natural leverage.
Why?
And I don't think he's he's not like 6'1" where you're like Puna 4. You're like you're a little too short. Yeah, he's perfect. He's on pain. Is he 6'2" on a good day?
He is 6'3".
6'3". Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, and to me, like when you hear about offensive linemen talk about guys who they hate, like they struggle with, it's always the little guys. They really, like, of course, yeah, you struggle with Myles Garrett. You struggle with, like, the elite guys. But when they say, like, hey, who's a guy that, like, people think that are not that good, but he gives you fucking hassle? It's always a little fucker. It's always a guy that's stumpy.
Who did you comp him to?
I'm going to steal this. I seen it everywhere, and I just couldn't hold myself from, like, disagreeing with them. Cam Hayward. He has Cam Hayward.
I think you're going to like mine. Geno Atkins. Little throwback. Small.
Didn't you say Braden Fisk though?
No, I said he kind of has that like little Braden Fisk thing with like the build and stuff. Yeah. He's Geno Atkins. He's small, but he's twitched up. Like Geno Atkins, he kicked ass. Let's not disrespect Geno Atkins.
Yeah, Geno Atkins, yeah.
Yeah, this is in terms of build, maybe not the same exact game right now. I think this guy's a hair more strong. Mm-hmm. But Geno Atkins, 6'2", 293, 32-inch arms, just like him.
Yeah, and if you're going to ask...
I don't know if he's 4.75 speed. Jesus, Geno Atkins. But this guy's, he's ridiculous. I think he's outstanding.
I like the Cam Hayward. I think a big thing that I took from people, which I was agreeing with, is Mason Graham, he's not thick in the lower half. He's kind of he's kind of narrow.
If you're the Raiders at 6 or 7,
6.
6. You already have Christian Wilkins, who was just that monster. This is the perfect guy to put next to him.
Yeah, I would love for the Raiders to draft him. I don't think he's gonna make it there.
Yeah, I have like if Buffalo picks him, I'm kind of like, dude, like you need.
He's not gonna make it to Buffalo.
No, I know. I'm just saying if Buffalo picked him, it's like, oh yeah, you're good, but it's like. You're not a great fit with that Oliver because you're both small.
I get you.
That's my point is like, but if you go to a team like let's just say the Texans, like, goddamn, you got Danico Autry, you got these big ass son of a bitches next to you.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
He can't play zero.
You need a, and I'm not saying to play him zero, but like you kind of have to have that beefier D lineman next to him. You want another bigger D tackle next to him.
I'm gonna tell you a team that I'm banking on picking him, and I think it's glaring. And if we do a mock, I have full confidence. Like I'm hitting this pick. The Carolina Panthers are going to pick.
Oh, next to Derrick Brown. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you're New England, do you consider it?
Yeah, most definitely. I think every
Mike
team
Vrabel
should.
wants ass kickers.
Yeah, I think every team should consider him. But I think a big reason why New England's going to be a little bit less hot on him. Who was the big commodity in the free agency? Milton Williams. Correct.
This is Milton.
I think he's better than Milton Williams, but The New England Patriots are already paying.
in terms of like role,
role.
I think two of those guys is like tough against.
And who
teams.
was in the running for him? Who signed him with the news?
Carolina.
Carolina lost out on him. So I think they're going to make up for it because they need a guy like Mason Graham to pair up with Derrick Brown. I think Mason Graham, you can fucking put it in right now. If he's on the board, he's going to be a Carolina Panther. I can almost guarantee it.
When do they pick? 9?
No, I think they pick pretty early. Don't they pick like number...
They don't pick 5.
Do they pick 7? I think they're after the Raiders.
I said 9, and he's like, no.
I think they're a little bit earlier though.
Come on.
Let me see draft order. Let me
I mean, that's a great pick for sure. Like think about that D line is just gonna.
They're at 8, so you're closer.
I went over, so it doesn't count. Price is right, but you know.
So yeah, I don't see the Jets picking him. Do you see the Jets picking him? I don't think so.
They could use him. They could use him next to Quinn Williams.
It's really just New England, which I don't think so. I know people are gonna probably think about it.
I honestly I hadn't really thought of him going there, and then you reminded me of Milton Williams. So yeah, no.
So maybe Jacksonville, and then for sure the Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders under. Yeah. Everyone's got these like ideas with the Raiders, like Shador. No. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
What was your grade for him? I had 87. This is a guy pick wise 5 to 15.
Yeah, I have him as an 84. I have him as a top 10 pick. I don't think this guy gets out of the top 10. I'll be absolutely shocked. And then, like you said, let's show it for the audience. 87 top 10 pick.
Yeah,
pretty similar. Okay, let's go to. You want to go into your number 2 guy?
Derrick Harmon. From Oregon.
Let's talk about Derrick Harmon. So Derrick Harmon, I had number 3 on my list.
He did his best to try to look like Michael Bennett with those small little shoulder pads.
And wearing 55?
Yeah.
Did he wear 55?
I think he did it for the Eagles or something.
Oh, okay.
I can't. No, he wore 72.
72, correct.
But look, it's good size. It's a great body. It's twitchy, quick off the ball. I love the way he plays against double teams. He held up great. And I think all these guys... And I think you see it unless you're Georgia, who have 8 of them. The conditioning is a problem for all these guys because they're on the field every effing play. I didn't look at the snap count. Maybe I should have, but it seems like this guy's on the field. Like all these guys are to that point where they're the best players, so they have to be out on the field. Where you get to the NFL, you have some good backups. You can kind of keep them fresh. And I think every guy out, even Mason Graham, you could be like in the fourth quarter, you look kind of tired. Because I don't know if you think that's a problem too in college. Because these guys are on the field like crazy.
Yeah, and Derrick Harmon is a guy where his motor stuck out to me. He's running down plays.
That's what I'm saying. The motor was good, but you could see he was tired.
Yeah, because he's on the field a lot, like you said. His lower half shows up when he's trying to go through double teams. But I love how he disengaged blocks. I did also put his club move is not all that good, but he has some great swipe moves. He can play high at times, like you alluded to. His hips and flexibility is just not there for the burst that you see. I think he's twitchy as hell, but I do think he lacks like the bendability, the flexibility of his hips.
He is stiff.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say this. One thing, his pass rush plan just needs some fine and tuning.
And I think that's part of
some tuning.
Because what I seen, he was missing out on so many sacks. He just missed the quarterback. And I think that's the ability to drop your hips, carry your momentum into the quarterback and finish the sack.
Like I said, he could 2-gap or he could be someone you just play next, like in a 3 technique shaded over the guard, and just be disruptive. He's got more disruption, and that's why he went 2 rather than guys like Kenneth Grant, who went to me at 5. And now people are going to be like, well, how did you get Walter Nolen? Look, I think for me, I valued guys that were more disruptive than guys who could just, and trust me, I lived with Jordan Davis for 3 years. I love the guy. He's not disruptive. He's literally just a big body who eats up space. Great run stopper.
Who was your comp for Derrick Harmon?
I put Grady Jarrett this was a throwback, Darnell Dockett. And I don't know why he reminded me of Leonard Williams.
That's my comp, Leonard Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think best fits for him, I have Atlanta and Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, Cincinnati could desperately.
Yes.
And this is a guy, pick him 15 to 25 range.
Yeah.
I think he'll go in the first.
This is my last first rounder that I have personally in my grades. I'm not saying that these guys are for sure going to go there is where I would pick them, but only my top 3 are first round picks to me. The next guys, they're very close. I have a lot of early second rounders.
Where was Derrick Harmon on for you?
Derrick Harmon is number 3 for me.
Who's 2?
2 is Alfred Collins.
Oh, okay.
Let's show the grades for Derrick Harmon, and then we'll move on to Alfred Collins. For Derrick Harmon, I had an 81 mid first round pick. For Max, he had an 83.
Yep.
He's picks anywhere between 15 to 25.
Yeah, middle to late first. Is there a world I can see a team not loving him and falling out of the first? Yeah. I do. I do believe that. And same thing with my guy Walter Nolen, who we'll talk about after we'll talk about Alfred Collins.
All right, Alfred Collins, my number 2 guy out of Texas. Ahmad, shout out to you because I know you're gonna love this one because it's a Texas guy.
But no, he should have been number 1. No, I'm kidding.
6'6", 332 pounds, almost 35-inch arms.
I couldn't believe he weighed 332. He looks like he weighs 290.
Yeah.
He looks like who's like a really big D tackle that's skinny. Like Jeffrey Tillery. He looks like that. Like, you're like, how's he that big?
Yeah.
Well, tell me what you liked.
His motor, it's great. I love it. Love his burst off the line, his ability to stack and shed off defenders. He's a true force in the pass game. He can get to the quarterback, and he almost never gets pushed out of the way. I'm yet to see film on him where he just got washed out of the play backwards like 5-10 yards, and you're just like, dude, like that can't happen. I didn't see that with Alfred Collins, and that was the deciding factor on how close it was between him and Derrick Harmon. I have Alfred Collins as an 81.5, and I have Derrick Harmon as an 81 score. It was that close.
Let me give you why I'm questioning this, and he was number 6 for me, Alfred Collins. I don't think he's going to be able to be that disruptive in the NFL. I like his quicks, got the long arms. He's one thing I loved about him. He bats passes down. But one thing that I noticed was in pass rushing situations, I agree with you. He doesn't really get moved in the run game. I don't know if he has a plan. I just saw a guy who kind of did what Shamar Stewart did. Just run in there and get held up, and then he just kind of gave up. That's what scares me. And I think, to me, he graded out as a better run defender than a pass defender. And to me, he was DJ Reader. Not body-wise, but just role in the NFL. Because, dude, his body is fantastic.
I have him as a guy that not playing in the league anymore. Michael Brockers. I have him as a Michael Brockers plus, though. I think he can be better than Michael Brockers. I know what you're saying about the, redefining his pass rushing tools. He needs to work on that, but that's coachable to me. And to me,
that is coachable.
That's 100% coachable. And I love his motor to the point where, like, he's going to learn how to use his hands a little bit more. Like, the one thing that bothered me,
he has upside for sure.
The one thing that bothered me about him, like I mentioned, the 35-inch arms, he lets guys get in his chest a little bit too much.
That's what I put when he gets held up. And I think part of it, he plays with the bad pad level.
The leverage.
Because he's 6'6" or 6'5".
Yeah.
Other than that, this is a guy top of round 2. I'm cool with 40 to 60. Take him and run.
And I know what you mean about him looking a lot lighter, because while I was watching him, before I even seen the height or the weight, I was like, I wrote in my notes, he reminds me a lot of Christian Wilkins. Just the way he was playing and the way that he looked. And then I looked at his weight. I was like, fuck, like this guy's a lot heavier than Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins was light in the ass. And with him, it's like, oh, damn, like Michael Brockers type shit. Like Michael Brockers had great arm length.
Like I'm telling you, he looks like Jerry Tillery. And Jerry Tillery 6'6", 295. Yeah. Like that type of body, it's a lot of weight in the lower half. Yeah, and you talked about Christian Wilkins being a little light in the ass. Christian Wilkins, when he came out, I think he's much heavier now than when he came out. 315.
Yeah.
He's a good player, man. He was really tough.
And I'm comping him with his best fit to the Seattle Seahawks. I think Mike McDonald.
You just want to keep the Texas guys together with who they get. Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy's a different animal coming out than this guy, but I got it. I like it.
But I like Alfred Collins. He's a first rounder in my books, and it was very, very, very close with Derrick Harmon. Literally, the deciding factor between those two. I felt like I seen more plays of Derrick Harmon getting washed out on run plays. That's something that I value a lot with defensive linemen, because at some point, like that just can't happen in the NFL. That guys that have guys like that on rosters are bad fucking run teams. Like those are guys like that's full of
And I think it's important to point out it's different for Mason Graham. Mason Graham is not 330 pounds. If you're 330 pounds getting washed away, problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what scares me about Derrick Harmon.
It's like
at times.
we knew when Braden Fisk got drafted, they were getting someone who's dummy athletic, who can be disruptive, but we knew it wasn't a force in the run game. And for a lot of times, did you see him out there when it's rundowns? No.
Yeah. All right. Who's your number 4 guy?
You see my number 3 guy.
Who's your number 3?
This is your favorite, Walter Nolen.
Oh my God, I forgot.
This is
Let's talk about it.
This is the one I was most scared to do.
Let's talk about Walter Nolen.
Look, guys,
Ole Miss.
I just want to point something out. I don't know where these guys are going to go in the draft, and like I don't know what his position is. Right? Like I don't know like the stuff around him. You don't watch college sports. I don't know if this was a 5-star. I don't know. What I saw in film was a good size. He's not the heaviest dude, but like for what he is, he's a disruptor. He's like a Mason Graham. He's twitchy. He's quick off the ball. He shows up against. He has got good play strength 1-on-1. He's got great flexibility. He's got good hands. Collapses the pocket.
Yes.
Throws the guard away. Capable of ridiculously dominant wins.
Yeah, against double teams as well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then there's these plays where you're just getting thrown onto the ground pancakes.
No. I mean, it's more often than you would like.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A lot.
It's like it's not like it's half and half. He's not that bad. But and there's like this thing where he's in the wrong gap all the time, and he's just playing too high, and he's got his conditioning's not the best. This was a really tough eval, man.
You didn't learn from Robert Kimdichie?
My heart goes out to you wherever
you just didn't learn.
No,
because to me, I know their body size is completely different. And
Robert and Kichi, if he could just stay off the weed, it was
no. I think this is a guy that he reeks talent. He obviously has talent. He was a 5-star.
Like I told you, say I didn't know that. Like I told you, something about a D tackle in an Ole Miss jersey that just sits right.
And I'm not holding that against you. I'm not because
you are.
No, I'm not because I know you hate that because I've mentioned that with guys like he was a 5-star. I don't give a fuck one.
I thought you were talking about Nkichi. I was you definitely
no.
are happy I was wrong.
But I'm not holding that against you as far as like him being a top 5-star athlete and you being like holding on to that narrative. You didn't know anything about that.
Don't even care.
You don't care. But
again, real quick, it's just 25, 20 to 40, 25 second round. This is very late. Like this has to be like you really need a D tackle. Like Eagles, like it's a luxury pick at 32. This isn't somebody I really could.
I wouldn't touch this guy in the first round, Max. I'm just gonna say it now. He's in my top 10. As when we reveal our 6 through 10, you're gonna see him on there. He's at 7 for me. But I'm sorry, bro. He's a guy that's very talented. That plays. He plays like he plays like a fucking selfish basketball player. He doesn't give a fuck about run lanes. He doesn't give a fuck about filling in his gap. All he cares about is making a flashy fucking play. And even that, if that's at the expense of him getting washed out 20 yards down the fucking field.
There's plays where
he's exaggerating.
There's parts where like he runs back. I'm like, I've never seen a D tackle do that. Look, this guy to me is Milton Williams. Like what Milton Williams was like in the Super Bowl. Obviously, he's not going to be that every game. But what I'm talking about is like super disruptive D tackle. That's what he could be. And I kind of went with some upside. Look, is Darius Alexander probably better right now? You can make the case. Does Kenneth Grant have a role right when he steps in the NFL? Yes. This guy could be really disruptive.
He can.
And that's what I fell in love with. And I'm regretting
You're
it.
Scared?
You're making and Kichi flashbacks, PTS. I was tired of thinking of him. So I just picked a new guy that I'm going to hate for the next 5 years for evaluation. So just fuck me right now. Just fuck me.
This is not even based off their body or like their game. This is just more of a guy that has failed. I compared him to Jerry Tillery, a guy that got picked in the first round. That people were like, "What the fuck?" And you kind of just seen the signs, but everyone ignored them. I'm not a big fan of Walter Nolen. Can I see a world? I see a world that he does good?
I just want to say, Nkichi was 91st percentile 40-yard dash, 97th vertical jump.
Where is he now?
Had long 34-inch arms. I don't get it. I don't get how you didn't figure it out.
And that's the thing with Walter Nolen.
It's because the weed, bro. If the weed was legal, bro, like it is now.
Walter Nolen, who was your comp?
Like Milton Williams.
Yeah, so you agree. Like
he's an Ed Oliver type of guy. Undersized guys who are really twitchy. You can just go.
Yeah, but this guy, he he's very talented, man. We mentioned that he was a 5-star recruit. He transferred over to Ole Miss. He makes incredible plays. Like if you're watching a highlight tape of him on YouTube, you're gonna fall in love with him because you're never. Gonna
I promise.
see the
I
bad
actually
plays.
watched the game. I saw the bad. The bad is there.
But yeah, he makes splash plays for TFLs. He will be a 3-tech guy. I feel.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like he needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of
Cap.
work.
He's the best. I should have put him at 1. But okay, let's please show me the grade, and then we can move on.
Who do you see picking this guy? By the way,
Anyone be lucky to have him? I take him.
I
at
can
1.
see Cincinnati picking him.
Yeah, Cincinnati. There you go.
Let's pull up the grades.
Who else could take him?
Let's show Max's grades just to show how crazy he is. 83 score.
Oh, I can't
Picks-
believe I wrote 15 to
Picks
25.
15 to 25.
Oh God.
Oh,
I wrote
love
in
it.
my big board 20 to 40. I don't know why I put 50.
I have an 81.
You have an 81.
I think you put that wrong, Max. You fucked me on my score.
Did I?
Yeah, you completely fucked me.
You're showing Derrick Harmon, stupid.
Oh, Derrick Harmon. I'm sorry.
Oof,
My bad.
Okay, hold on.
bad,
I
bro.
was like, I don't remember writing 15 to
Yeah.
25.
Okay, no, I have him at 76.
Okay,
round
can you
two.
show my grade for Walter
Yeah,
Nolen?
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
come on, don't guys. Okay, I wrote 25 to 40. Way different. I
A
was like,
little bit better. All right.
I was like, yeah, I wrote 15 to 25. I'm like, I don't remember that. Fucking hater on the front line. Okay, moving on.
oh my gosh.
you-
Okay, who's your 4?
Darius Alexander.
Okay, let's talk about him because I really do like him. He's in my top 5 as well. I have him at 5. You have him at 4. Let me try to find his shit right now. Sorry.
It's a small school, so I mean, obviously, there's going to be the questions of this is going to translate, right?
Yeah, Toledo 305 64. Max, what'd you see out of Darius Alexander?
I thought he looked great. I thought he looked really big, strong on film, has good length. One thing he has, and this is why he wasn't 5. He's got 3-down ability in my mind. This is a guy who has got upside. Did you ever see him get moved?
No, he has some great.
I know it's Toledo. He has a good swim move in the bag, pushes the lineman into the quarterback, collapses the pocket level. There's only 2 things that I worry about. It's his pad level and his level of competition. I don't care that his hands are raw. I think you can coach that up in him because he's a great athlete, good against the run, good against the pass. There's honestly no weaknesses. It's just about you played at Toledo. You weren't playing guards.
I think there is another con on him. That what I seen was a guy that's a little stagnant when it comes to like that stunt ability, that twist ability.
I wrote he isn't the quickest, and he's definitely not.
Yeah, and that's what kind of bothers me about it. Like his short area burst or being able to bend is very limited. I'm not saying he can't do it at all, like he's a stiff guy, but it's just limited.
In the Senior Bowl stuff, when it's one-on-ones, obviously that's not always conducive to the NFL. He's just a monster. The power is really good.
Yeah. And I think he's going to be very scheme dependent. His club and swim move, it's violent. Everything about his like hand shit, everything's about
He
violence.
has his go-to. Like we talked about
Yes.
with Shamar Stewart. Sorry for all the Shamar Stewart hate. He didn't have a go-to move. This guy had a go-to move. It was like, I'm going to swim. If that doesn't work, I'm going to club.
Yeah.
And like now that he can develop like a counter,
Yeah.
he could be a bear. I liked him. He reminded me of David Onyemata.
I can see that.
Who'd you have?
I had a couple of interesting ones. Do you remember a guy named Matthew
Matt Ioannidis?
Ioannidis?
I don't know why I assumed that was him.
Yeah, I had Ioannidis for him / Christian Barmore, a more recent version.
Yeah.
Christian Barmore, a guy who we actually liked coming out of the draft. It was
And it's funny you say, because we were talking about he's not the quickest. He had a great 40, 81 percentile, 4.95, 74% 10-yard split.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like the most explosive.
The one thing that bothers me about the Ioannidis one is because the arm length doesn't really fit. Ioannidis had 32-inch arms.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and
short.
and Alexander,
34.
yeah. So with Ioannidis, though, 6'3", 299 pounds, and a guy that I felt like was strong.
Yeah,
All his game
strong
was
at
violent.
the point of the attack for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
and not the bendiest guy. Same thing with Christian Barmore. Just not bendy
kind of
guys.
upright, stiff. in a little
Exactly,
bit, yeah.
but they're effective. Very
Yeah.
effective guys.
I'm
And
with
I would
it.
love for Buffalo to pick this guy. I think he will fit the Buffalo
Yeah,
culture.
I could see that. He could be a good player for
Because
them.
it's a guy that you obviously know that like coaching is going to be a big deal to redefine his game. Who has better defensive coaches than Buffalo? They have
Philadelphia Eagles, but yeah.
I mean, they're in the top 5, Eagle boy. All right. All right. Let's show the grades for Alexander.
I had a 78, and I had a 78. This is a second rounder to me, 40 to 60. I don't think you could touch this guy in the first round.
Yeah, I have him as a second round
If
pick.
he did this crap against SEC, he's a first round pick.
Yeah, I have him as 77.5, round 2 guy. But I'd be surprised if he goes in the first a little bit. But
yeah, I agree.
But I think he'll have to be like way at the tail end, like 30, 31, 30.
28 and on. So he's your 5 or the 4?
He is my 5.
Who's your 4?
My 4 is Tyliek Williams out of Ohio State. 6'3", 334 pounds, 32-inch arms. Like I said, it was very, very close. I have him as a 78, and Alexander was a 77.5, so just 0.5 off. Some of the things that I like from Williams. Certified people mover. That's what I put him as. He moves people, simply. Beast in the run game. His short arms can be a ceiling issue for him as far as how good can he be. But man, does he give me shades of Ali McNeil. He gave me shades of him, bro. And that's his high for me. My low is a guy that plays for the Raiders. I don't know if you know him, but a guy named Adam Butler.
Yeah.
Who, he's
only
on the lower.
played the NFL 12 years, so it's not bad.
No. I think you're thinking of a different Adam Butler. I think we might be talking about different Butler. I think you're thinking of John Jenkins.
Oh, thank John Jenkins. Sorry.
Adam Butler a little bit younger, but he's a guy that has the same kind of build, same type of dude. How he's more of a run stuffer, but questionable on third down. Like Ali McNeil, though, who I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one.
I give it up to you on that one, Paul.
I see a lot of the same shades, but the level of anything with finesse on his pass rush moves, he's just lacking. It's all power.
I don't think he has. Yeah,
he doesn't have it at all.
My big things were raw hands, stiff, plays high, and conditioning.
Yeah,
I will say this about him: he's certainly violent. Certainly has a good motor for like the first half and stuff. I said this: he could play 3 tech or a shade nose. He could play either. I think he's not the biggest of, he's not like Jordan Davis and stuff, but he's got plenty of size to him. I will say this: I don't think he's got the world's greatest anchor. I did see some plays where he got washed out, and that's why he didn't make it to me for the top 5. And I will say this: I think there's a hard ceiling. He's a run stopper. I don't think he's going to give you much pass rush.
Yeah, and like I said, if he can prove both of us wrong, because I feel the same way. Like you said, like the ceiling is an issue, but if he can prove us wrong, the ceiling is Ali McNeil. If he can just put it all together, because Ali McNeil is a guy who people were questioning a lot of the same stuff, and he redefined his game, and he proved to be a third down player. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for this guy, Tyleek, is just prove that you can play on third down. That's the last piece.
To me, he was like an Eddie Goldman / Kenny Clark less than version of.
Yeah.
To me.
And I would love him for Washington. I think Washington needs a guy like this.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Dallas Cowboys need a big person. He's a big dude.
And I know a lot of people are going to say they have because they don't have Deron Payne no more, right?
They don't have Jonathan Allen either.
Yeah, they don't have Nina, but
I think they have Deron Payne.
They have Deron Payne, but they have Jazir Newton.
Yeah, Johnny Newton.
But both of those guys, they're
more
zeros.
Disruptive guys.
They're not zero guys. This guy can play the zero and let those guys flourish.
Yeah, that's what I like about him, is that he can play your 3 tech or shade nose.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done with our top 5 guys.
No.
Who else you got?
Kenneth Grant.
That's who I was going to get in. Where do you have him?
5.
5. Okay, so I'm a little bit lower. That's who I wanted to get into. Let's talk about
I honestly
Kenneth Grant.
don't even see how people think he is like this clear runaway of... Sorry, I'm just making a note. I don't see how people think he's just like clear runaway number 2, guys. I don't get it. I think he's a good player. He's strong. He has flashes. But to me, and I've watched Jordan Davis for 3 years now, he just is a run stopper. He doesn't burst. He literally just gets blocked all the time. It's boom or bust as a pass rusher. It's a dominant win, or it's just a loss. I will say this: against the run, he never gets pushed back. He just stands his ground against double teams and can shed guys like crazy against the run. But to be honest, and I learned this lesson, I think we both did with Jordan Davis, and we saw Jordan Davis, and it was like, there's burst. It's the biggest human being you've ever seen. I learned my lesson, and I'm not going to fall for it twice with Kenneth Grant. That's why he's 5. And now what I do think is he'll be an elite run defender in his prime in the NFL. I don't see much pass rush getting from this guy.
Look, I think this is a case of athleticism, a Shamar Stewart type, as far as like this guy's has a freak build athleticism wise. He's 331 and he moves great. 33-inch arms, 6'4". He moves really good, but honestly, dude, I completely disagree as far as him like being elite in the run game or not getting pushed. I seen him get washed out way too many plays, and that's what I disliked in him.
And I will say this: he does play high because he's so big. He's 6'6", right?
Yes.
I think you're over. I think you're overstating it. That's you're entitled to think that. Look, he to me at his height could maybe be like a Starla Tulele, Kawan Short. Maybe he's a tad bigger. Maybe like a Raekwon Davis. Raekwon Davis is who maybe I would say.
I have him as Eddie Goldman.
Oh wow,
that was my comp for him.
I can't believe we mentioned Eddie Goldman twice.
But I didn't feel like he felt his presence enough. Now,
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say this. I'm gonna have some humbleness to me and say I don't have the best scouting eye. Okay, I'm not number one.
Now, we're not professionals?
No
one told me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna acknowledge there is a part of me that thinks Michigan didn't ask him to do some of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, I would agree. It's kind of like the Georgia thing we talked about where he's not asked to be disruptive. But I just sometimes out of the snap, you just see, like you very rarely see it. But I mean, it's there. Sometimes it's there. It's like, wow, it looked really good.
But to me, it's the athleticism. Like, I don't see anything on film that wows me to the point where I'm like, first round pick. He's a first round pick. And I have him at 9.
I mean, if you took him, if the Eagles took him at, I'm just using the Eagles because they're picking last. But if some team was like, "Oh, we'll trade up for him at 32," I'm like, okay,
yeah, you like him a little bit more.
Yeah, but again, he's 40 to 60 in the range for me.
To me, I have him as a 74.5 mid to late second round pick. Me personally, where I would pick him. Do I think he's gonna go there? Fuck no. I think this guy's gonna be probably a first round pick, and he's a high floor guy.
Extremely high floor. Yeah. If you're the Dallas Cowboys and he's there, and you're like, we're tired of getting ran on every year, go take him. You know what I'm saying? He's a good football player. I don't want to sound negative because, like I said, and if we're wrong, there are those reps where you're like, holy crap, where is that all game?
Right. Let's show the grades. Max
78, 40 to 60 range.
Yeah. For me, like I said, I have him as a 74.5 round 3.
I think you're a hair too low, but we're both different.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I acknowledge that he has the athleticism profile for him to be great. I have him at 9. Okay, I couldn't leave him out the top 10. I just like a couple of guys more than him. I honestly do, and that brings me something to like Walter Nolen and Kenneth Grant. I just want to clump these guys together. Watching this class, I just feel like other guys did stuff just a lot better than them. I just felt like the film was better. And with Walter Nolen and Kenneth Grant, I walked away like just a little bit too many negatives for me. That's how I feel.
I see what you're talking about. We've covered my 1 through 7.
Here, let's might as well show our top 10. So this is my full top 10. I'll break down the tier list for you guys. So in the first tier, I have 1 through 3. I know Mason Graham is a top 10 pick, but I could see a world that all these guys have success like Mason Graham, because Mason Graham, to me, I don't see him as a blue chip guy.
I agree.
I don't.
He's not Jalen Carter.
No, fuck no. So 1 through 3, that's my first tier. Second tier is huge. It's literally 4 through 9. And 10, that's where the tier stops. 10, Deion Walker's outside of that tier. He's literally a guy that I like personally, but after that, like it's arguable. Like my 10 through 14, they're super close. I like them all in certain type of ways, but I'm just betting on Deion Walker. That's why I put him at 10.
Yeah, if you want to bring up my list, I'll tear it up. I think it's Mason Graham and Derrick Harmon. Then I would put Walter Nolen, Darius Alexander, Kenneth Grant in a tier. And then I would go 6 to 9 as a tier, and then everyone else in a tier. I don't really want to spend a lot of time between 8 and 10. Like, they were cool guys. They're more like rotate. I don't think any of the guys between 8 to 10 could be stars. They could be role playing, like above average rotational pieces, if that makes sense. TJ Sanders, to me, he's just a bit too small. Omar Lott, same thing. He's not even the best D tackle on his team. Sanders, he's motor is really good one. I don't know how you felt about him. Do you like where was he on your list?
He's number 6 for me.
Okay, so we're about the same.
Yeah, the first game I watched, the one thing that scared me about TJ Sanders is he played against Tyler Booker.
Okay, sorry, not TJ Sanders with the motor. He has a good pass rush. He's versatile. He's physical. He has no regard for his body.
Yeah.
But he plays too high. He's not good side to side. Okay length. He was like a Logan Hall, just a big dude trying to rush the passer.
I like TJ Sanders a lot, man. I would
He's solid, yeah.
I would be shocked if he gets out of day 2. I compared him to a guy like Corey Legent.
That's a good one.
And one thing that I seen out of TJ Sanders, it's weird. I don't really know how to explain it in the best way other than this. He had like this crossover move, and it was kind of Myles Garrett-esque. Not totally like effective like Myles Garrett, but he kind of had it where he just did a little crossover and he kind of like step to the quarterback. Something that I seen out of TJ though. I have him as a early to mid second round pick, and I like him more than Nolen and Grant. Another guy that I wanted to talk about that you brought up, Omar Norman Lott. I know I have him at 8, but I was resisting myself to putting him at like 4 or 5. I really like him.
There were the highs are high, the lows are low.
Well, look, let's just get it out of the way right now. Norman Lott was a rotational player. That's the facts of it. He did not have a lot of snaps. He played in sub packages. He does not have a lot of film. Now you're asking why? I don't fucking know why. Tennessee is fucking stupid because you watch the film on him and he's a disruptor. He's a guy to me that's an absolute gem in this class. He just needed more snaps. His hands are fantastic. He's always moving his hands. They're violent. They're very active.
He's small one. He's small. Like if you're
to me, there's so many guys in this class though.
No, but he's really small. I mean, he's got good length. He's 6'2", 290. He's Puna Ford 2.0. He's explosive. He can be disruptive, but I think that's what he's going to be in the NFL. He's going to be a rotational guy. You don't want, if you're playing the Eagles, you're playing Baltimore, you're playing these run-heavy teams, he don't have a job unless you're going to play him at 3-4. You're going to play him at end that week. But then if he's at end, he's not rushing the passer. He's not going to beat no tackles. That's why I think I have him at 9. I like him a lot more than Deion Walker. Deion Walker to me is Jordan Davis like 2.0.
Yeah, I have Deion Walker at 10, and that's why he's in a different tier.
He's literally just a run stopper.
But to me, like I mentioned with Will Campbell and our offensive,
there's upside for him. That's
like I mentioned with our offensive tackle podcast. There's guys where you can look at the measurables and say, hey, he's 291, he's 6'2", he's short, he's gonna struggle. I didn't see him struggle. I didn't see his size pop up once as an issue. I've never seen him get backed up ever. So to me, that bullshit of like he's gonna be too small, until I fucking see it, I'll believe it. But what I seen on the film is a guy that did not play with his size.
But that there's some context clues. That's why he's a rotational guy.
I think that's so stupid though. There's guys on Tennessee where you look at and it's like, I don't understand why he was a rotational.
I don't know.
I don't think that's substance on how talented he was. I just think that's college football bullshit.
Could be. I don't know.
But I think Omar Norman Lott is going to be a gem in the draft. I would not be surprised if he's a top guy in the NFL. That's how highly I think of him. My comp to him is Michael Bennett. He's Michael Bennett to me.
High.
And
I said Puna Ford.
I think he's going to be way better than Puna Ford. I understand the comp to him as far as you're going because he's short. You know, you feel like
I don't think he's got. I don't. Michael Bennett could beat tackles and guards, and he was one of the.
I think Norman Lott, he showed that he can play edge at times. He can play edge. He can play in the middle. You can put him all over the defensive line. He has enough bend. He has enough hand placement.
I think he's a tweener, bro. I don't think he's really cut out.
That's someone that we gonna see. We gonna see.
Anything on Deion Walker?
Yeah, we'll say a little bit something about Deion Walker. Deion Walker out of Kentucky. What did you see out of Deion?
Yeah, he's the biggest SOB in this class. He's 6'6", like 340, somewhere in there.
330, 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. Sorry, I'm looking for my notes. Give me 1 second.
You're good. He's huge. He's a big boy who gets very gassed.
Yeah, he's got no... He just vanishes at times.
Stamina, bro.
The pad level is ridiculous. The conditioning's horrible. He's stiff. He's a run defender only. He has no pass rush moves. Does he flash? I'm bigger. I'm gonna push you back, and I'm just gonna run you over. Absolutely, he does.
Yeah,
he's Jordan Davis. This is a guy you take in the 3rd round, and you're happy with him. I think. I think he plays he has a role for you day one.
Yeah,
and that's what's cool about him.
Yeah, I think when he
doesn't get pushed back, he's just like
no, he clogs up shit.
Yeah,
and I would say his pass rush, it's good when the initial win is there. If he does not win initially, it's
toast.
Done. He is done.
Chalk.
Yeah, elite size. My comp to him, a guy that you mentioned earlier, Raekwon Davis. That's who I had for him.
I think we hang out with each other too much. How we get these same comps.
And I think he's a Baltimore guy because he's so fucking big.
Oh, Baltimore, yeah. Like if you're the Chiefs and you're like, this guy could help our run defense for sure. And that's what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Like if the Eagles draft this guy in the 3rd round, I'm like, oh, the writing's on the wall. We're not going to re-sign Jordan Davis.
So how about this? I don't know if you want to talk about one guy. I want to talk about at least 2 guys. I just want to mention
I'll give you my sense, but tell me who you want to talk about.
Okay, I want to talk about CJ West out of Indiana. I thought he was a great look at. I think he's going to be a guy that's also a gem. I compared him to DJ Jones. He's 316, 6'1", another short guy.
Okay, this is the one guy I didn't have a chance. I don't think I really watched him.
Yeah, he played on a fun D line where he's stunting, he's twisting. He shows off some real flexibility in his hips and his ability to get upfield. He's a one-gap guy. I love his tape against Michigan. He played at Indiana, so not all that much competition. But when he played Michigan, he kicked
Indiana was
ass.
good this year, too.
Yeah, they were really good this year. And he's just a havoc in the run game. He lacks the strength. He lacks the length.
Undersized.
Yeah, he gets washed out way too much in the run game, loses leverage, plays with low pad level. He's a guy where he's gonna be a one gap, very scheme dependent, and he's gonna need to get stronger.
So you're telling me he's more disruptor than he is?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no 2 gapping in his future.
Yeah. And another guy that I wanted to mention, he was an also fun watch. I'm gonna get his fucking last name wrong.
JJ
Puegs, there you go. Puegs. JJ Puegs out of Ole Miss, 6'2", 309 pounds. To me, another very fun guy. They play him at tight end. They use him as short yardage situations, but he's a D tackle for Ole Miss. And to me, he popped out more than Walter Nolen at times.
Don't ever say that again.
He's a guy that
don't ever.
He's a guy that played gaps way more fucking better than Walter Nolen. He's a guy that was way more defined than Walter Nolen.
I'm gonna say this: doesn't have a great first step. He's a tweener, and he's off balance all the time.
I think half of these guys are tweeners, but that's besides the point. You can say that about a lot of guys. It's a coach's thing. You're gonna want to use them in the rotation.
I could see a fit for him in Buffalo or Green Bay, like some team that's he's just gonna plug and he's gonna be a good player.
I just think that he's gonna play fullback. I compared him to Patrick Ricard.
Or what's the guy on the Chargers? Matlock.
That's another guy.
Yeah,
because he can play on the offensive side.
It was definitely an interesting watch. I think he could give you some like really value in round 4s to 5.
And I think he's gonna go to San Francisco.
Oh, I hope not,
because they don't got Hugh Sheck no more.
Yeah,
Baltimore too. Yeah. Do they have Patrick Ricard still?
I think they do, but you could draft his replacement.
Yeah, fuck it.
Have him trained.
In case Ricard retires or they want to cut him, less money. But I think that's gonna do it. There's a lot of other guys. Did you want to give any shout outs just real quick?
That you watched? I like play. Jamari Caldwell was cool. He's gonna be a 5th round pick.
I have him compared to Jonathan Hankins Caldwell and I have him as a late third, early fourth round pick.
Yeah, that's about what I would say.
Yeah. I think that's gonna do it. Anything else, Max?
We are almost done.
We're
we
almost
have
done.
linebackers and safeties. I'm not really sure how you're feeling about the top 100 or the mock draft, but I like that we've kind of figured out, or what, I don't know how the best way to say this is.
Yeah, we're rounding out our list.
Yeah, we're rounding our list, but we're also kind of like pushing back on just narratives they're trying to push, because every year, the league is just full of narratives. Like, to me, we talked about it with the O lineman, the Will Campbell. We talked about why Travis Hunter isn't the best receiver, why Shador's a first round pick. Let's not be stupid. And same thing with Kenneth Grant. We've been told he's the second best guy, and we're just both like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
we could be wrong, but it's always nice when you like kind of feel yourself against the grain, but you also feel good about being against the grain.
Yeah,
like guys, you weren't around looking at both cameras. Solomon Thomas, me and Juan were like the most Debbie Downer people. We're like, there's no way.
Yeah,
and draft analysts were like beating on he's so athletic. He's so athletic. It feels good when you're right.
Look,
we'll be wrong about somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna be wrong about a bunch of guys. That's the draft process.
But not the Eagles. They're the best.
You're never gonna fucking shoot 100%. You're never gonna shoot a good percentage. Half of these fucking teams get it wrong. That's why we love the draft. It's a fucking crapshoot. We love to watch the guys fucking.
We love to even have the opinion. Yeah, it's good to have an educated opinion about somebody.
Exactly, dude. And
rather than being a Twitter mouthpiece or a YouTube mouthpiece.
Yeah, a lot of people, you're dumb. You're out of your mind. That's the way the draft is, man. It's different opinions. These are ours. Take it or leave it. Whatever you want to do with it. Just know that we're watching it straight, basically off the tape. We don't watch college football. We don't even have a fucking team in college football. We're not fans of none of that shit. We don't take. I don't think we have no bias. No bias at all.
We definitely know people with bias.
Yes, but I think
USC bias, LSU bias, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Bama, Washington. Everyone's got a bias, and it's kind of nice that we don't, because we don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't go to college.
We didn't. All right. Well, you went to college?
Yeah, but they're in a football team. So I don't claim them.
Anyway, look, that's going to do it for now. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video. Comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. Who are your guys' top 10 linemen, top 5 linemen, whatever you want to say. As far as the draft goes, if you guys are watching this, you guys are probably big fans of the NFL draft, especially if you guys made it this far into the video.
Hell yeah.
Make sure to catch us on April 24th. We'll be live streaming the whole first round NFL draft. Raw reactions, raw analysis, right when the picks are made on Twitter, TV, whatever the case is.
We're not getting duped.
We're not getting duped. We're going to go balls in when we see Michael Penix picked, and we're going to believe it, because nothing is out of fucking
the possibilities.
Yeah, out of the possibility of things. Max, this is in the books.
Boom.
Until next time, we out. Peace.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both clean. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy.